Okay, so I did a thing, and now I'm trying to figure out if this is actually going to work. Oh shit, I actually got it to work. Wonder if it's actually recording video or if it's just going super slow.
What do you want, Signal?
Turn your video back on.
I'm back.
Recording video or if it's just going super slow.
What do you want?
Turn your video back on. But that video is super choppy.
Mine?
No, mine.
Oh. Can't believe you're having this technical difficulties right now.
It's called we're beginners at this. We're learning how to do this.
So, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Are you able to see your face and stuff? And my face?
Yeah, I'm able to see your face. You're able to see my face. So basically, let's just start. Let's just start this off, and I'll re-upload the recorded version live, and that way we'll have the live stream. And if the live stream is choppy as hell with the video, I'll just simply delete it, and I'll just re-upload the recorded version. So, this is TPAW chimes in, featuring
Andrew Darian.
And we're here to talk about WandaVision. Fill your little ear holes with goodiness and filthiness. Anyway, and just go on about WandaVision, which you could see in my background is Wanda and Agent Wu and a bunch of other characters. I'm going to move this fucking thing. There's Monica! Woo! So we're going to go on about WandaVision, and we're going to talk about Season 1 so far with the way it's been for the last 8 episodes. So, as far as everything goes, Andrew, how's your week been?
It's Walmart.
All right, that's kind of how my week's been. It's work. But yeah, but as far as the show goes, so what is your thoughts about the season so far?
Well, honestly, I can see kind of where it's going. Like, especially with a lot of big fan theories that have been going around, including but not limited to the multiverse that we have going on that is going to be introduced.
Okay.
Hopefully it's already been introduced. We're just seeing it and nobody's saying and confirming that it's there.
Yeah.
But, so I've been doing a lot of research on this thing in particular, and I kind of already saw the whole Agnes, like, being kind of like, she was being very sus the entire season. I could see it. I was like, oh, she's up to something. Like, especially when, like, I think it was like episode 2 or 3, when she was talking to the neighbor guy, and, like, he was kind of being a little suspect too, and I was like, okay, all right, so she's got to have something to do with this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it was, there were just little tiny things that I saw. I was like, okay, I can see where this is going now. I can see where her character's kind of leading to. One thing that I'm kind of a little.
Hang on, I can't hear you on the audio end on Zoom. I can't hear you on the Zoom. I just realized that I could hear you on the phone call. I just can't hear you on Zoom. I had to turn down the phone while you were talking, and I can't hear you. Might be the fact that you're on a phone call with me. I'm gonna hang up on you.
Okay.
All right, start talking. Nope, still can't hear you. I'm so glad I caught that because I'm not like... Nope, can't hear you. We've been talking this entire time and nobody could hear you. My God. I'm so glad I turned that on because I would have heard an echo this entire time.
What
You can hear,
now?
yeah, right there.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, now people can hear you. Fuck, holy shit. Okay, god damn. So they can hear me. You can hear me, right?
Oh yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, so now let's start over a little bit. I'm TPAW, chimes in, and this right here is where's my hand?
Right.
Name.
No.
Name.
What?
What is your name, sir?
Oh shit! I didn't even realize that you were pointing over here, and like on your chat thing, I'm right there. But I'm Andrew from Outvoted, guys. So yeah, let's just forget that whole thing, that first party even happened, because holy shit, I was ranting. You guys couldn't even hear me. What the hell?
Woo for
What the hell,
beginnings. Yeah, so this is my name's Teapot. He's Andrew Darian, and we're gonna review WandaVision season 1. So go ahead and say whatever you were saying before that we couldn't fucking hear, and that way people can actually hear you this time.
Oh my god.
We're gonna skip past all the work bullshit.
Yeah. So, okay, let me get back into this whole thing, because, like...
Aren't you glad I caught that, though?
Yes, I am so glad that you caught that. Okay, so, the thing that I like about the series is that it's not necessarily, like, filler, as much as it is, like, kind of nostalgic. And, like, I don't know, it yeah. Sorry, I'm just like, I can't believe that I'm still...
Technical difficulties, man. We're getting through this. What?
It's okay. It's okay. Oh my god. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna pull a Wanda right now. Oh shit. So I've been hearing a lot of fan theories that this is opening up into the multiverse. Probably has already been, introduced, just nobody's said it yet. Nobody's made it official. But it's supposed to also lead into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Which also means that their whole fan theory of Spider-Man might also be in the mix. Which I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed, actually. And that means that we may or may not get a Spider-Verse live action. That'd be nice.
Right.
But honestly, like, the thing I like about the show is that it's kind of predictable in a way, but it's like entertainingly predictable.
All right.
Yeah.
You're expecting me to automatically disagree, aren't you?
No, I'm just waiting for you to carry on the conversation, my dude.
Yeah, so okay. Well, this is the thing, is on these types of things, I'll let you say some pieces and stuff, and then I'll have you say some pieces. I won't say lead, fuck that. I'll have you say some pieces, and then I'll kind of chime into that a little bit, and we kind of bounce off each other. That's the beauty of this thing. So, as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the season, and this is something I was talking about over Messenger a little bit, because I was actually having Ghostel, as you guys know, Ghostel has reviewed Birds of Prey with me. She also reviewed Soul a while back. I just haven't been able. I've been so focused on Crazy Peas and so focused on everything else that I have yet to post the Soul review that happened on Disney Plus. I have to get around to doing that. This is going to take priority, though. I need to get this one done and uploaded and everything for you guys to gaze your eyes upon. But basically, I was having her watch it. My nefarious motive was I was going to be like, she's going to get so involved, she's going to jump up here, get so excited, and then we're all going to review it together, and it failed miserably. I was like, fuck! I was like, can you go upstairs with me and review it with me with Andrew? And he's like, nah, she's like, I want to go to bed. And I'm like, fuck! I'm like, son of a bitch! And she's like, what? And I'm like, my nefarious motive failed. And she's like, were you trying to get me involved in a three-way with your brother? And I'm like,
That sounds so bad.
no, but yes. At the same, it was like a weird joke there, but like, basically, yeah, I was trying to get her to do this review of us, but yeah, she at least has seen it. So her and I can do our own little couple review again, I guess, of WandaVision. I was trying to get her involved in this, but whatever. Maybe it probably wouldn't have worked because my screen's super small, so she would have been like over here, and I would have been over here. Anyway, I'm gonna stop with my producer mindset. Basically, with this season, I would say that half the episodes for me, half the episodes feel like filler, and like you were saying, it's got like that entertaining quality. Like, I've now seen the episodes all the way through at least 3 times now, because for me, they don't... Okay, so when it comes to TV shows, they either grip me, or it takes a while to get me gripped. And so, I was waiting for this series, because it's Marvel, because it's WandaVision, or Wanda, and then it's got Vision, then you got, like, Sword, which was originally S.H.I.E.L.D., and you got all these other elements in play, that I was waiting for it to just on me, and for me to like be like, okay, master, whatever you say, master, and like it didn't happen necessarily. But I will say that episode 8 kicked me in the nuts and made me cry. I will say that. We'll get to that. As far as the episodes go, I would say that my favorite episodes so far are episodes 4, 6, and 8. And the reason why is because episode 4, remember how we were watching Infinity War and we were watching Endgame? And we were like, wonder what happened to the people who got snapped or blipped or whatever they call it. I was wondering what the fuck happened to them. Like, I was like, going, we're watching all these superpowered people in the skies fighting each other, watching, as Zack Snyder would call gods, whatever, Iron Man, Spider-Man, all these other heroes do the things with Thanos. Yeah, you're watching all these superpowered people go at each other, and the whole time we're watching on the sidelines, we're watching choppers crash into buildings, we're watching taxi cabs smash into each other, we're watching all this shit happening, like all this chaos happening, and then all of a sudden we're right back to Spider-Man and everybody else, and I'm just like, I'm a working American, I'm a taxpayer, what the fuck happened to me? Like, people like me, like, I don't have powers, what's going on with that? And so 4 was kind of like, this is what that looks like, and like, this is like, their first fucking scene is showing Monica just get re-snapped into existence. And like, then you're reminded that Monica and her family have been involved with Captain Marvel, and you're like, oh shit, that's right. Like, and then suddenly you're like, throughout her storyline, you're starting to be like, okay, so she knows Fury, because when she's going through that little barrier, she hears Fury's dialogue, and then she hears her mother's dialogue, and she hears all these other people. So she's connected to Wanda in that respect with Marvel and Captain Marvel, if you will. And so you've got Captain Agent Wu, which he's awesome, and then you got Darcy. So 4 was really where I started to really like. I went from like this, like casually watching like this, and be like, to being like, what? All right. What's going on now? And then like episode 6 with like the Kick-Ass references of like, oh, he's Kick-Ass, and I'm just like, yes. And then like I was watching the Halloween stuff, and I'm a Halloween person, horror's my thing. And so I was watching that episode and being like, wait, holy shit, she's dressed like fucking like the actual Scarlet Witch. And then I was like, wait, Vision's dressed like the actual Vision, not like the Marvel, Feige version. And then like episode 8's a whole different story, but like those are the episodes that truly gripped me. So episodes 1 and 2 are kind of like your average sitcom episode where you're kind of wondering what the fuck's going on with the show. You're like, for me, like, you're wondering what the fuck's the point. And then you get to episode 3, they start to get more into it. They start to unravel more of like the mystery quality and why the credits are the way they are, because it's showing someone watching someone on a computer, and you're like, why the fuck? And the credits is like this person's face on the TV screen, and every single episode ends with someone watching them on a TV screen, and they finally explore that. You know, it's Darcy, and like then you start seeing like some of that other stuff happen. So for me, like, I can see what you're saying. It's entertaining. It's, you know, the formula's there. It's entertaining. It's not necessarily filler isn't boring filler, because normally when you say filler, people who are writers associate that with bad quality, or people who are just standard entertained, you know, audiences are just like, whatever, it's, you know, it's a show. But like for me, it's like I want to know if the replay value's there, right? Because the only way the show is going to survive after season 1 is if people are constantly wanting to watch it over and over again. That's why reason why Disney would even continue it. So I would say that the replay value is there. I would say it's entertaining enough to watch it a few more times. I would just say, though, that people like Amber will spend half the time watching the show doing this. They'll have their phone out. Like, I like 3 times today when I was trying to watch it with her, I was like, get off your fucking phone. And she's like, I don't have to be watching the show and doing the, you know, don't have to watch the show. You know, I don't have to be watching only the show. And I'm like, why? And she's like, it's not as visually engaging as I'd want it to be. And I'm like, really? Okay. Plot twist. I was waiting, you know, there was a couple episodes like the 6th one, and then the 4th one where I was like, Amber, you have to be actually watching this part, like, to understand what's going on. And she's like, I will. Cats. And then, like, you know, and then like there was a couple episodes where I was like,
last episode that we just had,
the episode 8, she was engaged. Episode 8, she was engaged.
It's more visually engaging.
Yeah, but like that's my point though, is that like to what you were saying, like it, you know, it's entertaining, but it's not like
what it is
gripping entertaining.
It's like a filler. It's kind of like a filler episode, but it contains information.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it contains information that you need to know for later date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what they kind of developed, and that I think that's another reason why the episodes were like only 30 minutes. This last episode was like 45, and who knows? Well, actually, it's 136, so people are already 36 minutes into it. But
if they're watching it, yeah. Because there's gonna be a lot of people. There's gonna be a lot of people that have to work and stuff, and so they're gonna be like, I haven't watched it yet. So, like, that's why I'm like, I figured this is for us to be like theories, reviews, thoughts, whatever, and then tomorrow will be like the big thing of like, oh my god, what did we think of episode 9, type of thing. But so you're saying that like for you, you're not bugged too much by the filler quality to the episodes because they're entertaining for you.
Yeah, I think that there was one episode, though, where I was getting bugged. I can't remember which one it was, but there was just an episode where it was full of just, like not necessarily useful information, just, like, funny jokes, kind of.
Which is like, what Marvel's great at.
Yep, and it was like, alright, this is kind of like The Flash, where you're watching it, and, like, episode 13 or 14, like filler episode, where it's like they're just being corny.
Yeah.
You know? It kind of felt like that.
Okay.
But I really like where it's going. There's been a lot of theories that Magneto is going to show up.
Yeah, you should see the one Crazy Piece episode where I was sitting there talking about where it could go with the last 3 episodes, because that was back when it was just episode 6, and Tim was trying to say that they were going to pull a Magneto from another reality, like the Fox timeline, and just like how they did it with the Quicksilver guy, and they were going to do that for the House of M storyline, and I was like,
see, here's the thing though, is we were told that there's going to be so for people that have seen The Mandalorian, you will understand what I mean. I'm not going to spoil anything for The Mandalorian. I mean, unless you want me to, because it's been a little bit.
It's been a minute. They have no excuse.
So the big Luke Skywalker cameo they had in The Mandalorian. Apparently, the cameo that's going to be in the last episode is supposed to be as big.
Okay.
So, with that being said, if the multiverse is opening, we could get a Tobey Maguire appearance.
Oh shit. Yeah?
Yeah. We could get a Tobey Maguire appearance. Or a Mr. Fantastic appearance.
Fantastic Four!
Yep.
Now,
But,
which one
again,
though? Which one though? Fan Four Stick or the actual, like the original Fantastic Four?
A brand new one. Someone who they recasted.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, because it might be the original Mr. Fantastic, especially since they're saying that it's as big cameo. But Paul Bettany also said that the person that he worked with, he's always wanted to work with this person.
Yeah, I remember him saying that before. I just didn't delve too deeply into it because I wanted to be surprised. Which is why, like, theories are fun and we can engage in the theories. But at the same time,
Right.
like, I want to be, like, soak in what their plan actually is.
Again, just for clarification, these are theories.
Yeah.
So don't get mad or upset if these theories don't actually pan out. That's why they're called a theory.
Yep, that's what the fun of the theory is. Who do you think that they casted?
Honestly, my thoughts are probably with Toby, only because it's a big cameo, and it was a big cameo that big for the Mandalorian to, like, you know, bring in Luke Skywalker, like the computer animated younger version of Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
If they're planning on doing that, then it's either got to be the older Mr. Fantastic, or they could have Magneto, like from the movies. Could happen.
Okay.
Only because Fox version of Magneto is already taken up with Quicksilver. So if they're breaking, you might have the older Magneto. That would be a big cameo.
That would be a fucking holy shit. Like, can you imagine if, like, Magneto just fucking shows up, like, old-ass Magneto shows up, and fucking Wanda's like, who the hell are you? And he's just like, I'm your father. Like, they have, like, a Star Wars moment where, like, he's like, I'm your father, and then, like, and then fucking he talks to Quicksilver, and, like, he, like, just kind of gestures out his hands like this, like he typically does. He's just like, vroom, and he, like, levitates off the fucking ground, and, like, fucking, like, he just, like, turns around, and he, like, says, hello, old friend, but it isn't to Charles Xavier, it's to someone else, and you're just, like, thinking it's Charles Xavier, and they fake you out.
Exactly.
This is just having fun here, don't worry about it.
No, in all seriousness, okay, it's either going to be Toby or the older Magneto or Mr. Fantastic. I don't know. Also, I just saw Doctor Strange is in it.
Wait. You're saying Doctor Strange is in this last episode?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I saw a promo for it before we went on.
Holy shit! Okay, what? You seen the fan art online? Have you seen the fan? Dude, have you seen the fan art? Like, the recent fan art? They made fan art of Tom Holland, Spider-Man, like, the camera's facing his back. Like, the person that drew it is, like, he's standing in the spaceship of S.W.O.R.D., and he's overlooking the planet, and the planet is engulfed in the Hex. And they're playing with the idea that, you know, Tom Holland is going to be in Doctor Strange 3, or 2, and Multiverse of Madness, and and they're playing with the idea that, you know, the whole Hex happens, and then Doctor Strange pops up, and then bridges the way to Tom Holland.
That's what I'm saying. It's supposed to bridge open the Multiverse of Madness, and with that being said, we might get Tobey Maguire.
How excited...
Garfield. That'd be cool.
That would be okay. That would be awesome. I don't think that's gonna happen tomorrow night or tonight. I don't think it's gonna happen tonight's episode, but that would be amazing. Because that would be like that. They'd have to like really fucking like
or have both of them, Tommy and Andrew.
Now, what would be awesome is if that was in Multiverse of Madness, because they're already talking about. They've already discussed out the ass about the third Spider-Man movie.
Apparently, the contract has already been like done for Toby and Andrew. Like they've also been cited at like for costume fittings.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, trust me, I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I've been waiting months for them to even. Are we just not going to talk about the fact that we didn't get a Super Bowl thing for Venom? Let There Be Carnage. Are we just not going to talk about it?
We could talk about that.
We were supposed to get a fucking... Okay. Got a few months ago, before the Super Bowl, it was last year, they had a promo. It was pretty much an official promo from fucking Sony, and it said, watch the Venom 2 trailer of Let There Be Carnage during the halftime show at the Super Bowl. The fuck?
Wow. Dude, that would... Okay. Part of the reason why I even watch Super Bowl at all is for the trailers. And that would have gotten me to actually look up trailers on fucking YouTube. I would have been like one of the first people.
I waited for it. I mean, unless I'm a dumbass and it was fake, I waited for it.
Nah, I don't think it was fake. I think Sony's just guarded about their content now. Because, like, fucking... They don't... Like, they're making a giant bucket worth of change from the Spider-Man movies. But remember, they're still sharing that sandbox with Marvel. And so, as far as that goes, that big chunk of change still goes entirely to Sony, even though Marvel's the one paying for it. So, like, Sony's kind of like the biggest chump. No, Marvel's the biggest chump in this game. Because they get to play with the toys, but Sony collects all the money.
Yep.
Like, Sony gets the lion's share of it, while Marvel gets, like, pocket change. But still... the whole thing is that they because of the licensing and the deals and shit, Sony gets to collect everything while Marvel makes the movie.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, like I'm really psyched to watch this. I want to go watch it now.
Well, let's talk a little bit more, and then we can go ahead and jump onto that. But yeah, like as far as this goes, like. What was your thoughts when Monica went through the hex thing again, and this time instead of her just popping through it, she like forces her way in, and she sees like the plane, the blue plane in which all of her realities are in play.
Honestly, like that's what I'm saying. Let's go back to what I was saying about them, like showing the multiverse. But not actually saying anything about it. Like I was watching it, and I was watching it with Rachel, my girlfriend, and she was like, "Whoa, that's weird." I'm like, "Oh shit, they're introducing the multiverse. It's right there. It's right there."
Dude, I was pumped.
Shown. I was like, "Oh my god!"
And then they had the superhero landing. Where she lands on her knee and shit, and she looks up and she's all like, and her eyes were all super white and shit, and she's like, psst, and fucking superhero landing. She landed the superhero landing. I love that moment because I was like, dude, that's a Deadpool reference.
Yes, it is.
It's like them becoming super meta about the fact that they own Deadpool now, and they're gonna be like, dude, we own Deadpool. We're gonna make jokes about Deadpool. You're just not gonna notice it unless you're like a Deadpool fan.
I wonder what's gonna happen here because like. Snooper's gonna snoop.
Yeah, like for real, because like fucking Quicksilver's not even Quicksilver. Like as they made the joke in this last episode, Fietro. Yeah, not Pietro, Fietro. Like that's what that is. But yeah, the reason why I would say that episode 8 hit me as hard as it did is because of the fact that when I was watching that episode. You know how like they're watching TV, at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Agatha, not Agnes, Agatha Harkness is forcing Wanda to go through her different trials of life, right, or different parts of her life that are like traumas and stuff. When
Right.
they were watching those movies on the TV, and like the family was, you actually saw her parents, and you're like, oh shit, they're going into that. And you saw like the war going on outside and everything like that, and then like they were getting ready to watch a movie together, like the TV show together, and the brother was like, why do we have to watch this again? Like, I was reminded of us, Mom and Jose.
Something just dawned on me.
What?
That was their parents, right?
Yeah, that was her fucking parents, dude.
Did they kill Magneto?
That's what they show in the memory.
Did they kill Magneto? Because they bombed it and
Remember, we're talking about multiple realities here.
Are we not going to talk about that?
Yeah,
Are we just not
they
gonna,
killed the MCU version of her dad. Because remember, that was established already in Age of Ultron. So they established the fact that wasn't a lie. That she remembers that. That was her memory.
Okay,
So
in this universe, her dad is not actually Magneto.
in another universe, he would be, yes. That's the whole point. That's the whole point behind the multiverse and the theories.
That version of him.
Yes. And so in that particular part of the story, her dad dies, and in that scene I was reminded of Mom's family home evenings, and I was reminded of like our life. And then I watched that get ripped away from Wanda. So it didn't quite make me cry. That part didn't quite make me cry. It started it though. Like it planted the seed. Like I was tearing up and I was like, fuck. And then like later on in the story when they're in that world, after she absorbs the Mind Stone, or at least touches the Mind Stone and enhances her powers and shit, then we go into the next room in which she's sitting on the bed and she's watching the TV, and it's Malcolm in the middle, and she has Vision come in the room, and then Vision's talking to her about what she's going through, and the part where like she talks about saying, the only thing that would make me feel better is if I could see him again. And I was reminded of us again. I was reminded of all those times, all those conversations we had with Jose about how the one thing that would help us is if she was back.
Right. Yeah.
And it hit me like a fucking ton of bricks, man. Like I was watching that, and I was starting to. It was getting
really
me.
Funny? So the reason why I asked you about that, like I texted you and was like, when did you lose it? Like I want to know when you kind of like when you start crying. The reason why I'm saying that is because I cried at the same fucking moment, you motherfucker.
I was literally saying "fuck you, show," and like it wasn't like a "fuck you, show" as in like I hate you now. It was more like a "fuck you, show." You made me fucking feel something for fucking once. God damn it.
Yep, we actually feel emotion. Oh my god.
It fucking hit me like right there, and I was like, God damn it. And then later on in the show, like fucking when she's got the fucking house plans in her hands. And then she fucking drops to her knees and just starts, like, throwing her arms back and screaming, and she's, like, visceral pain and shit. I was like, oh my god, like, that's kind of how I've been feeling the last 2 years.
That visualization is what we wanted to do. We're just like, let it go!
It's not even let it go. Like, it's just, like, that whole visceral just pain, that agony that she was feeling, like... I've had that internally for years.
Yeah.
And then where she like wants to rewrite everything.
Too.
What's that?
Been kind of feeling it lately too, but yeah.
Yeah, like I wanted to like it went into the whole like because that whole episode was trauma. Like that's where it was solidifying it to me that like everyone wants to call Agatha a bad guy, and then they're wanting to call the Hayward guy a bad guy. And they're wanting to come up with the reason for why there's a big bad. For me, I think her big bad is trauma. Like, I think that's the villain of the show. It's an inverted, like... It's an internal bad guy. It's one of those artsy bad guys.
Now that you kind of touched on that subject, the big bad guy. So, there's a lot of other fan theories that it's Death.
Death?
There's a character named Death, and he's like this. He's supposed to be like the rabbit. Like, the rabbit that Agatha Harkness has?
Yeah.
That's her son, which is the other dark sorcerer or whatever.
Not Chthon, but Death?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know that in the comic books, Death personified is actually a girl, and it's Thanatos or whatever the fuck. No, that's Thanos. Thanos is in love with and dating Death, or trying to date Death, and Deadpool's in love with Death, and Death is in love with Deadpool, and so they've got that endless eternal curse going on where Deadpool can't die because Thanos cursed him to never be able to die, so that he could see his lover. And that's in the comic. That's right there. So it'd be kind of interesting to see like another version of Death as the rabbit.
Right.
But that would be interesting. But yeah, so as far as the other episodes go, like, what was your thoughts on like episode 4 and episode 6? What are your favorite episodes this season?
I don't really have a favorite episode, honestly.
Okay.
Like I like them as a whole, honestly.
Okay.
Like, I think the Halloween episode, if I were to be honest, like, the Halloween episode, like, I know it's stereotypically dark and stuff like that, but I kind of like where the direction was going, and the fact that, like, it was kind of more a realization for Vision as to what's going on with him. Like, he started realizing at that point that something was going on, because as he like inched closer out of the city, people were starting to like, not be as in control of their own body, and like you could see a tear rolling down one of the ladies' faces, as in like Wanda has created this world where this reality inside the hex is what they call it. Wanda has created a reality in which, at that point, like, you can see in the perimeter that's where her control was kind of starting to wear off.
Yeah.
Kind of, and we're like almost like mindless zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were still in the hex, but it's not completely in her control.
Yeah, because there was parts of the town on the outskirts where there was no control over them. They were just zombies. Whereas the closer to where she was is the more animated they were.
Exactly. And notice that when she started feeling the first trauma, she expanded the hex. Like, the first trauma of, like, you actually, like, of the entire series so far.
Yeah.
Like, her actually losing vision again. Like, that kind of solidified the fact that she, she's capable of what you were saying, which is, absorbing the entire world in this hex to keep Vision alive.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that is what's going to happen with this thing that they made, the white Vision. Like, what's going to happen to him if he steps inside the hex?
I feel like it's going to be like yeah, I feel like because of the fact that, remember, they've already gone heavily into like how everything that goes into the hex gets rewritten, and everything that goes in the hex gets rewritten. Every time it goes to the hex, it gets rewritten, essentially. Because Monica's had her DNA rewritten like 3 times already, and it's continuously, slowly brought out her abilities. I feel like it's going to come down to Monica and Wanda having to team up, and Vision that they brought back will end up becoming Ultron 2.0. And it'll be Vision versus Vision.
That's a good theory that they might go with, but they might also... That there's a comic in which Vision was basically more cyborg. Like, it's a white vision, and he's more like, he doesn't have feeling. He's basically a Superman Bizarro.
Yeah, it's like more like what Vision would be if Vision didn't have the ability to. They didn't humanize him essentially.
Exactly, and I think that might be where they're going with it. That it might come down to a fight between, Vision and the White Vision, and Scarlet Witch with Agnes Harkness. But who knows? We just have to watch it.
Well, remember, Hayward was lying out of his ass.
Oh yeah.
Like, during those couple scenes where they kept asking, Hayward what he knew, and Hayward told the entire crew, he's like, straight up, was like, because he was trying to throw Wanda underneath the bus and frame her for everything, and he was straight up told everybody, he's like, the last video footage we have of her is her stealing Vision's body. And when we saw that part, that moment in time, all she did was touch his face and go, "I can't feel you," and she started crying and say, "I can't feel you," and then she just fogged off and walked out. Like, she didn't even take his body or anything. And Hayward's telling everybody that, she stole his body, or stole the parts. And then that's how they reformed, and then you find out that no, she just cast a really fucking powerful X and brought him, essentially recreated a version of Vision that was her fancy. And so I would think that Hayward has to have a version of Ultron. I don't want them to go the direction of Dark Vision versus Light Visions, because it's a little hokey and a little stereotypical, I guess, like a kind of a trope. I want them to go a different direction than that. I don't know exactly where I want them to go, but I don't want them to go that direction. I want them to surprise the shit out of me with, like, the last fucking plot twist out of their ass that really, like, makes me go, holy fuck. Like, that's what I want it to happen. I don't want it to be like, okay, Dark Vision versus Light Vision, they're fighting each other, boom, okay, the end. I want them to surprise the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's honestly where I'm at too. But hey, honestly, like, whatever happens, like, it's not the end of the story. It's supposed to connect with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, along with, fucking, what's the name of the Spider-Man thing again?
I mean, they've got the Spider-Verse, the Into the Spider-Verse.
No, not the Spider-Verse. Can't believe I'm forgetting the name. Live. I can't think of the name. Anyway.
What is in it? What is in it? You may not remember the title, but what it's about.
Not coming home.
Okay.
I can't remember what the title is, and my phone is right here, so I can't, like, look it up either.
You've got your computer. Just, like, look it up real quick, dude. Google search it. No one gives a fuck. You're good. By the way, guys, that is his epic studio, his homegrown studio. He has been funneling a bunch of money into that place to build it and everything. He's got, like, this giant fucking Goliath monitor up there that you can see, that TV fucking thing. Yeah, that TV. He, like, looked like when we do, we're trying to get around to shooting a music video for his band, and he's been taking and using that monitor to go through a lot of footage and things like that. And then he's got that other regular monitor he's got there that he looks up stuff and does other stuff on. So he does all the stuff, all the things on both those monitors, and he's been slowly building up to that. Because before it was originally just 3 monitors, and then he decided to just go with 1 big one and 1 small one. So we'll see where else he takes it in the future. But he does all the things in that room.
I can't got no. Who knows?
So in case you guys are wondering about all the shit in there.
Yep. So, like, I've got my TV right there, and then I've got my monitor right here, and then I've got my 11 rack right here, and we got, let's go ahead and pull this out really quick. Product placements.
Ooh! I wrote that fucker.
And let's not forget that thing over there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's the band logo. But
oh, yeah, it's too dark. Like, we could see a silhouette of what it looks like.
Let's see if I brighten it up. Hold on.
Oh, there we are. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Outvoted right there in the background. Oh, yeah. All over your face, neck, and chest.
Right there. Oh,
Boom. Mic drop.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Okay. That's the title for the third movie, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that is the new title for the new movie is No Way Home. So, with that being said, they're continuing off from what they left off with, with the whole Spider-Man thing, like from Far From Home.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're continuing off with that. Now, here's another fan theory. Far From Home happened after the blip, and that explains why J. Jonah Jameson is J. Jonah Jameson from the Sam Raimi version, is because that's after, like, the multiverse exploded.
Okay.
So, with that being said, he's from a different universe.
It all clicks together.
Exactly.
That's amazing. No, I love that.
Now, remember, they did say that the multiverse exploded in Far From Home.
I do remember them mentioning that. Like, wasn't that in the scene with Fury? When, like, when Holland is just like, he's all like, wait, can't you call Thor? Off-world. Can't you call this person? Can't do that. Can't you? You're literally our only hope right now. And he's just like, I'm on vacation. It's like, bruh, I'm having fun with my friends right now. And they're like, sorry, sucks to be you. You're an Avenger.
And then this guy's from a different universe, just so you know. Or a different dimension.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. They actually explained it, even though it wasn't true. Well, I don't know. It might actually be true, because we don't know. We haven't seen the next one. It's a continuation from that, and we don't necessarily know if Mysterio actually died.
Yeah.
For real.
That is true. And he's a special effects guy.
Because you also have to understand, they've casted Alfred Molina, or I think that's how you say his name, Dr. Ock, from the Sam Raimi version. And they've also confirmed that Jamie Foxx is Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And with that being said, they might have even introduced the Sinister Six.
Dun, dun, dun! They've been trying to do that for like a decade. A decade and a half. I remember them talking about that when I was 17.
That's another reason why I think that they're going to be bringing in the multiverse of madness, bringing all this into the multiverse of madness. It just makes sense. Like they're tying everything together in an obvious way, but they're denying everything.
Denying until it's true, until it's it's a headcanon, until it's actual like canon, and then they can reveal that yes, it was there all along. That way they could pull the wool over your head. I think that's what the Magic episode was about. By the way, was about Marvel's Marvel's meta jokes of this is us pulling the wool over your head, and you willingly.
Yep, exactly. But with that being said, man, I think that I'm ready to go watch the damn fucking episode.
All right. So, as far as this goes, final thoughts on this season. What are your final thoughts?
I really hope that one of the theories actually comes true, but if not, that's okay, because it's a fucking show, and it's Marvel, so anything can happen.
That is true. My final thoughts are that, so far, the first two episodes, they have little nuggets of content in there that ties to the to the series, and once you see it as a whole, it's one of those series where once you see it as a whole, it becomes comes into play of like, okay, that's what they were doing here and that they were doing here. As the series played out over the season of like the 8 episodes that are out so far, and the 9th one that just premiered, I still say episodes 4, 6, and 8 are my favorites because those are the ones that are packed with a meaty punch and actually grip you the whole way. They don't feel like they're just like a couple scenes strung together with something interesting in the middle. You don't feel like you're eating a bag of chips with air in it. I feel like those are the ones that are really the most interesting to me. But I'd say that episode 8 is the one that really got me hyped for this next episode. And I'd say that tomorrow we'll be able to review even more of what this season is. And I think that so far it's been a very interesting and very entertaining series so far.
Very, very interesting and very entertaining journey.
Yes, so far. And I like the fact they finally went into her pain. That is one thing I have to say. Like, I've been talking to Dad and other people about, I'm like, really wish they'd actually go into her pain, really wish they'd touch that, because they keep going a little bit, and then they pull back. A little bit, and then they pull back. And finally, they did it.
Storytelling, like, you know, that's all part of storytelling. Like, you give a little bit, take back. Give a little bit, take back. Give it a little bit, take back.
Yeah, but some series, they like The Boys. Like, The Boys, they really go for it. They go for the whole fucking kahuna, and then some. Like, just after you're like, I'm done, they go, no, you're not. And you're like, ah! And then you just, keep going. So, it's a constant ride of ecstasy and awesomeness and weirdness. Especially that last episode of The Boys of Season 2. Oh my god, did that punch me in the dick. Anyway, yeah, so this has been TPAW Chimes In with Andrew Darian to WandaVision. Tune in tomorrow for us to I'm going to try and fix the fuck out of this whole live stream thing because the thing's glitchy as fuck on the other end on YouTube. But I'm going to upload this as soon as possible, and we'll chime in tomorrow, and we will record this again, do this again tomorrow, and we will give more thoughts. Might be shorter, I don't know. So far, we've gone on for about 45 minutes of actual content, 15-20 minutes of troubleshooting, but we got there. We're doing this, and we will do this again tomorrow. So, thank you guys. Same bat time, same bat channel, TPAW's Playground. Yes, I want to